the moment that you start to take the smallest amount of action towards embodying the person that has whatever this is, it will start to be drawn from the dream state into physical reality by yourself. That's how powerful you are. Hello there, beautiful, and welcome back to The Dark Alchemist. Today I have a reading for the collective, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Just very, very briefly want to say before we hop into the reading that I feel called to give you a message every week now, and sometimes it's going to be a pick a card and sometimes it's going to be a collective reading. So this week it's going to be a collective reading, but for next week it's going to be a pick a card, and I'm going to try and do it in an AB format. Forgot the right word. So all of my decks are pre-shuffled that I have right next to me, and we're going to see where we're going to be taken today. So let's pull the first message. What's the first card for our collective reading today? Okay, see? Got inspiration and transformation. The inspiration to transform, and simultaneously your transformation inspiring others. So there is an area where you feel like you would like to make some changes. What do we have at the bottom of the deck here? Lighten your load. All right, we're going to take that one as well. Lighten your load as the underlying message here. Let me pull a couple more cards. Let me pull some tarot cards. Like, what is the story here? What's the story here? What is the story here? Can I please get one more? Okay. Thank you. Underneath. Okay. So, let me show you what we got going on here. Whoops. We have the Ace of Visions, which is interesting. I'm already getting that we're talking about a feeling that what is present in the reality is not how you see yourself in forms of energetics. It's someone like you're waiting also on manifestation here. When you look in the mirror, you see one thing, but with your physical eyes, but from an energetic standpoint, you see that this one here has a crown. There's a difference, like a stark difference between these two. We're going to see how this plays out. And then we had this coming out with the card of the Moonlight. And the Ten of Challenges, which is someone who is incredibly tired. And you see the sword here. This is someone who, after a fight like is battered, is incredibly exhausted. That's the right word, is incredibly exhausted, and is asking themselves whether this was actually worth it or not. And then we have underneath the deck the Five of Visions, the feeling that you dropped the ball. The feeling that I dropped the ball. And oh no, I dropped the ball. I made a huge mistake. So one thing I'm drawn to is that we have two cards that speak about the mirror image, because we have, when we look at the card of the Moonlight, you see that the moon is reflected also in this pond, and this is how we see the moon. The card of the Ace of Visions. So let me share a little bit about this a little bit deeper, because in this particular deck, which is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, we are led through the Enchanted Forest, and when we're talking about the aces, the 4 aces, we have, each of them represents an ally that takes us and gives us what we need as a help, or to help us through this journey of the enchanted forest. And the ally of this Ace of Visions card is the swan. And what the swan brings to us or gifts us is this secluded pond that we can look into, and it acts like a magic mirror. And not only does this mirror show us everything that we desire, but this mirror actually also shows us the reflection of our true self. So what I spoke of in the beginning, what I touched upon when I first pulled the card, that there is this disparity between what's happening in your physical reality and what's actually going on an energetic level, holds true. There is, on an energetic level, and the way that you see yourself, like what you envision yourself to be, is your true self. That's the imagery that you see, but it's more that you see that. It's like you, how can I phrase that? When you're envisioning this, I'm going to say loosely upgraded version of yourself, this abundant version of yourself, when you see that abundant version of yourself, you're touching into your true self, into your most authentic energy. It's like you're not sitting there and dreaming up the perfect life for yourself, even though maybe it might feel like that sometimes, but you are actually tapping into your own energy and reading your own energy. That's the perfect word. You're reading your own energy when you are envisioning those scenarios and those things. With the card of the moonlight, there is a feeling of feeling slightly disillusioned in combination with the 10 of challenges here. But on another hand, the moonlight also speaks about the need to let your intuition rule over your logic for a while. And I already feel like that is the biggest advice that we can give you today in this reading, is for you to follow your feeling and your follow the red thread that leads you to embodying that dream vision of yourself that you can see. You know, like these dream visions, or I say dream visions just to make it a bit shorter, okay? But you know what I'm speaking of. Just explained it. When you see this dream vision, or when you take this dream vision, there are always tangible steps that you can take that lead to you being this kind of person. What kind of activities does this person enjoy doing in this ultimate version of yourself, or in this upgraded version of yourself? How are they spending their free time? What are they doing for fun? And how can you start incorporating these kind of activities into your day-to-day life already? You know, and if it's something that requires a lot of monetary resources that you physically don't have right now, you can be in the planning stage of it. You know, you can, if you want to travel, you can start making travel lists and research where you want to go, what you need to see there, etc., and be in the feeling of excitement for it. It doesn't matter how it's physically going to happen for you. That will take care of itself. You know, there is a need to reignite that spark in yourself. You see that here, even like her hand is up on this side, to reignite that spark, to help you embody it. Because, I mean, also when it comes to manifestation, or like wanting to manifest something specific, a specific kind of vision, we are very often a little caught up by this notion that, okay, I'm going to envision it now, and I'm going to envision it very strongly, feel all of the feelings, and then there is a rift in time space, and now tomorrow I am this person. And I need to be a little careful what I say now. And while it is possible, of course, to quantum jump, quantum leap, there is always the component necessary of adjusting how you are moving through your life or through your day to day. It needs to make sense to jump into that. And it doesn't need to make sense from a logical standpoint, but from an energetic standpoint. Meaning, you can embody the energetic side, the kind of excitement for someone who travels, or, you know, the kind of excitement that someone feels who is researching the next place to go, the best places to stay, perhaps a route for going hiking, or whatever else it may be, you know, that you can already do with no added cost for you right now, that will help you embody that kind of energy. And embodying that kind of energy is going to be the very thing that will then draw this manifestation in. And this is the thing that's going to feel like it just came to me. But when it comes to manifestation, like the aspect of fully embodying that energy beforehand is often, I'm going to say, a little bit neglected in our communication surrounding the topic of manifestation, because we're always manifesting anyway, you know, like we're always doing that every single second of every single day. But it's about the conscious aspect of it. So reignite, you're being called to reignite that spark of yours. And instead of feeling like, oh my God, I'm so far away from that, and oh my God, this is so impossible. It's only going to feel this way when you stay put, when you are purely staying with the visualization aspect of it, because then it will always be in some kind of, only exist in some kind of dream version and some kind of dream state. The moment that you start to take the smallest amount of action towards embodying the person that has whatever this is, it will start to be drawn from the dream state into physical reality by yourself. That's how powerful you are. You can make it happen. You can make it work. You can make it happen. And this, like taking these smaller actions will over time, and it doesn't need to be a long time either, okay? This aspect can be, or this manifestation can come in like this. It can come in overnight. It doesn't have to be a couple of years. It can be a couple of years, to be frank, you know, depending on what you want to do and how you're moving, etc. I'm not giving you a time frame here because it's so individual and it ranges from day by day that it's not that important or not that important is not true either. It is important for us to know when it's coming, but I mean, for the sake of our reading, it's more important to focus on embodying it. And I will also say that when you start to embody it, the longing or the yearning for this end vision of it will become a little less strong. Mainly because you already start living it. You're already starting to experience what it feels like, you know? And this is also very helpful, actually, to bring the manifestation in even more, because you're putting less pressure on it. The focus is more on the journey. And I know you've heard this a million different times from a million different people, to fall in love with the journey of that manifestation, to fall in love with the journey of creating anything ever. I know you've heard it a million times. You've heard it one more time here. But it is true. The more that you focus on embodying that, and, you know, when you embody that, you start to make progress pretty much immediately. So you will start to feel better very, 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 very soon, like much sooner than you would if you were to just wait for something on the outside to happen and drop this manifestation into your lap. You know, it's about taking control over your energy as well. And this will create this like massive transformation. as well as ignite. You see here in this imagery, her whole hara is highlighted. Hara is the Japanese reference for the area of the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. So topics of fire, willpower, stability, your emotion, your sensuality, your feelings of abundance, safety, security, feeling grounded. I'm going to move this to the side because I feel like we don't need it anymore. Lighten your load. This card of lightening your load is calling you to focus less on how far away you are from all of this and from what you want to create, and on the feeling that this is impossible to create, or it's such a long way to, I have such a long way to go. Is this even worth it? I feel like I'm a failure at manifesting. I feel like it's never going to happen for me. Like I'm never going to be able to create that. I'm never going to be able to do that. I don't know why this is working for everyone else. It's not working for me at all. And it's not working because you're focusing on the wrong aspect of it. Lighten your load. Take the pressure off of yourself to make it perfectly. Take the pressure off yourself to create it perfectly. Take the pressure off of yourself by dropping your expectation that things happen exactly the way that you envisioned. I'm also getting a sense now that some of you have been trying to micromanage the universe, or micromanage this manifestation, where it's almost like you had a list of 20 different steps, and like then this thing happens, and this thing happens, and this thing happens, and then like 20 steps down the line, like I get there. Drop it. See the end vision or the end feeling that you want to create. See how you can move now more towards embodying that kind of energy. How can you feel happier? How can you feel more healthy in your body? How can you feel better about your financial situation? Or how can you feel better about investing or finances, whatever? You know, you can start learning with free resources already. You can start working on it. And allow the universe to work out the rest. Allow the universe to work out the how and the journey, because I can promise you one thing. The journey that we envision for something to go is so limited in comparison to the journey that the universe would have in store for us if we surrendered. I'm talking much more abundance. I'm talking a lot more fun along the way. I'm talking a lot more surprise encounters of the best possible kind. And you never know where you're ending up when you start on a journey, when you start with an inspired idea, when you start with something. Let it go. Okay, I feel like I would like to pull a couple more cards. Can I get like maybe from here? Can you give me one advice card from here? What can my collective focus on to help themselves feel better? Okay. Oh. I'll just see what at the bottom of the deck. All right, taking this one. We have the card of sensuality, or the wisteria. So sensuality, reconnect with your body. Reconnect with your body. Sensuality also speaks about calming down your nervous system. Maybe some of you have been a little overstimulated, and there is a call for you to return to a state of feeling calm. Maybe taking a couple of hours where you don't check your phone or your laptop or anything else, you don't consume anything, just a couple of hours to rest, rejuvenate, or a half hour to rest and rejuvenate, to return to your body. I'm going to give you a couple of resources at the end of it as well. Like, don't worry, okay, I got you with this. But sensuality, reconnect with your senses, reconnect with your body, feeling calm, or creating a state where you feel calm. Like physical exercise, by the way, in whatever capacity is possible for you, right? Because we all have different bodies and different capabilities, can be very, very beneficial for you. First of all, it will help you lighten the load because it physically moves energy through your body as you are moving. And it doesn't have to be strenuous as well. It can be something lighter, like doing some stretching. It's already incredible to help you feel better. Just doing like 5 minutes of stretching can already change my entire day around. Like, I'm just speaking from my own experience, can make the world of a difference to just, move a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. And also if my mind is racing and I do some physical activity, or I feel a bit anxious and I happen to manage to do some kind of physical activity, it helps to calm the mind down, because the body and mind are very, very connected, as I know that you know, but they're very, very connected. So you can calm the mind by calming the body, and you can calm the body also by calming the mind, and sometimes it's a lot easier to work with the body first. Particularly when you feel restless, it's difficult to sit down and meditate when you feel so restless and so kind of anxious and so in your head. To calm the mind down just by sitting down is very difficult. So doing some physical activity that the body gets a bit more tired, very helpful. Okay. And underneath the deck we have the card of self-worth. And this one I will read to you. What do we have with the elm tree? Tap into your enthusiasm to progress and move on. Rekindle faith in yourself despite feeling fatigued or drained. You are worthy. Clarity will be found by exploring what you want and communicating through your gut feelings. I could have summed this entire 20-minute reading up by just reading this one little paragraph. Tap into your enthusiasm to progress and move on. Rekindle faith in yourself despite feeling fatigued or drained. You are worthy. Yeah. All right. That is your message. That is your message. Oh yeah, I feel like pulling one small one. I haven't pre-shuffled this, so just give me a closing message for this collective reading. Okay, one closing message. Thank you. Retreat. Spoil yourself in the morning mist. Breathe in the eucalyptus trees, berries, and wattle. Yeah, spoil yourself in the morning mist. Take care of yourself. Retreat. Take care of yourself. This is touching back into the card of sensuality, touching back in with your senses. All right, I feel like that is your reading for today, my lovely collective. And I'm going to leave a few resources in the description box for you to support you, and maybe also the pinned comment actually, to help you touch back in with yourself, touch ground, touch base, and helping you calm yourself down, because I already know I have a couple of Reiki videos that can help you reconnect with your body and that are very grounding, and also some EFT tapping to help you alongside this as well. So if you would like some extra support from me this week, you can find that there. And I think I will also create another Reiki video that's coming out next week for you, Tuesday. I'm aiming for Reiki on Tuesdays and readings on Thursdays. I say I'm aiming for it because that is my intention, and let's see how well I do to stick to it. But I'm going to ramble on, and I'm going to stop this reading now. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'm excited to see your transformation play out and you hopefully falling in love with your journey. All right. Bye.